Last week, thousands of monarch butterflies flew over this property to begin their journey south, to a very particular place in Mexico they have never been to before. It's fascinating how these fragile creatures can fly thousands of miles, not knowing where they are going, but knowing they must go. They are driven by something, a force that makes them leave. They are urged to fly thousands of miles, and in the monarch butterfly's case, it's all part of the reproductive cycle. In order to survive, a very special generation of monarchs must venture out to a place they have never been before, so that life can continue. Watching the butterflies makes me think of intuition. One can romantically say that monarch butterflies have an intuition. It's probably more of an instinct. But as humans, we have intuition. For some of us, our intuition is a very strong driving force. It's something which has been present all our lives. Intuition is the sense of knowing where you need to go, but not necessarily knowing how to get there. Like the butterfly, we have the urging that we must go, but we don't know all the steps we will have to take in order to get there. But there is an implicit trust in the revelation that we must begin the journey. Whether your conscious mind recognizes it or not, no matter. The subconscious will have already started the process. Intuition doesn't make sense in the earlier stages of life, but it starts to make sense, especially after you have learned to start trusting it. It's not rational, it's not logical, or so it seems. Not on the surface, anyway. In some cases, it can't be proven right away, but it's strong, and it's real, and it urges us on. And in my life, I've found that if you know what you're looking for, there's a reason you're looking for it. As we grow older, we learn to trust our intuition more. At a certain point, we've accrued a large number of experiences. We draw on our wealth of experiences in order to hone our intuition, to mature it. Our intuition recognizes patterns, makes connections, grasps concepts which aren't tangible. As we grow older, we realize our intuition is trustworthy. We learn to listen to it. But we must be patient, because intuition can be very slow to reveal its purpose. In some cases, we must patiently wait for guidance. A door opens to us and we take it, trusting that it was the right door to open. Experience has taught us that this is the right door to open. Once we get through the door, we wait for the next door to show itself. Sometimes it takes a while to reach the next door. It may be easy to question if there will even be a door. It may be easy to question if you're on the right path. But when you are governed by your intuition, and when you start learning to trust it, it doesn't matter how long you're on the path. Intuition is a guide, but it's also a process. You know you will reach another door. You keep traveling the road, knowing where you need to go, not knowing how to get there, but eventually you will arrive. Intuition travels between our subconscious and conscious. It's rational and it's logical. It doesn't trust us enough to share its process with us. It just lets us know there is a process. The more experience you have, the more you have to process, and the better your intuition works. We need time to interact with ourselves, as well as time to interact with others. Introspection and extrospection are intuitive ingredients. The mixture blends together and it gets processed so thoroughly that you arrive at an answer. For those of us who live in intuition, it can seem like a magical thing. But in reality, our minds are the masters behind the scene, the true magicians, thoroughly thinking all things through, working hard at making all the connections. So when it's finished, it can throw back the sheet to reveal its finished magical trick to us. Even though it seems magical that butterflies travel thousands of miles to a place they've never been before, it really isn't. It's logical. They must do it so they can continue living as a species. Even though intuition seems magical for those of us who are governed by it, it really isn't. It's perfectly logical. And we must learn to trust it if we want to move forward with our lives.